Hello there, planner friends, and welcome to a journal with me. I know it's been a while since I released a video, and I apologize for that. I've just been in a kind of planner slump for the month of August. And we go through those from time to time, and it really, I think, is useful to think back on what's worked and what has failed in the past. Uh, I'm in a better planning place now. I was planning consistently the whole time, but it was in multiple books still, in this Foxy Fix, in a pocket, in a standard traveler's notebook size, and I think I've finally found a happy place, and I will be showcasing that bad boy off soon. But for now, I just wanted to reflect on all of my trials and tribulations in the planner world for 2017. And I thought the best way to do this would be to make a doodly journal spread, especially since it would be the centerfold of my journaling insert. And this is the journaling insert I had for One Book July. In fact, I just finished it, I think, 2 days ago. So this is one insert that's completely finished, and I'm super happy. And if you'd like to see a flip through, let me know. But in grand fashion, I decided to just kind of admit to my faults. I think I'm too quick to jump from planner to planner, and I kind of regret purchases like most of us. I regret some stuff I've purchased. There's some stuff I really liked, or that suited a very specific purpose in that moment. So I thought it'd be fun to look back. And to do so, I just roughly sketched out all of the planners that I had amassed in 2017. And I'm going over that with a micron, which is my favorite sort of fine lining permanent pen that's not affected by water or really anything, erasers, what have you. And I'm just listing the name of each one I tried, the inserts, because I think that's a really important distinction, especially since I carried over certain types of inserts through a lot of different folder types, and then how long I've used it. And this was a little humiliating because I realized I haven't consistently used a planner for more than about a month. And yes, that's a little worrisome. So once I was done filling in all of my sketches, I decided to go in and add some color. And I wanted to stay true to what these planners actually look like. So I attempted to use these Staedtler Tri Plus fine liners that I purchased last year because I needed some pens for an art class, and I do not like these at all. They are good for really, really tiny, fine work, but for covering huge swaths in color, no dice. So, I think I give up during this one because it is a brown Filofax, which, if you have seen the Filofax original, it is a gorgeous color, and this pen does not capture it, though it is the most accurate representation of that color available to the Tri-Plus fine liner. So I decided to go with what I was most comfortable with, and for me, that is watercolor. And these Staedtler pens react to water. Some of the darker colors, in my experience, they start to split, and they reveal what colors they're actually made up of, and that's only happened to me on the really, really dark ones. But I decided the Staedtlers were not enough, and I am dipping into my koi field box of watercolors. I believe My husband bought me the 32 pan, so not the largest one, but not the smallest one either. And I've had this thing for goodness like 4 years, and it is still going strong. The white is a little low in the pan, but that's fine. I can always use some other white because I do mix white in my colors. I do not have the time for proper washes of color or proper dilutions of color because yes, I'm weird. Anyways, so as you can see, we are still in 2017, summer of 2017, and I have been through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 planners. Goodness gracious. And it's technically 12 because we have the planner that I'm working with now, which is not listed. There would be no room to list it actually. But that's okay. I have a feeling it will be immortalized some other way in my journaling spreads, but it is closely related to one on this list. So I kept feeling like I needed to cover up a lot of this paper, and that's why it looks so muddy and gross. And I'm sorry my camera cut off while I was frantically applying washes of color because I just didn't like seeing the bare paper. I felt like it didn't provide enough division between the types of planners I used, me being picky. But now I'm just adding some more style and details to be super extra, and yes, still using beloved Micron. But I tried to alternate between colors, but I think you can really see my love of colors tends to be in the more neutral range. Except for yellow, I have an unabashedly crazy obsession with yellow. It is my favorite color, that and olive green. And my only olive green representation there is this beautiful Leuchtturm 1917 bullet journal, because I got on the hype train. It was leaving the station and I did not want to be left behind. So I went ahead and filled out all of these pros and cons off camera because I felt I needed to really sit and think and be a little bit more critical about my decisions, because it is definitely my style to go ahead and forget that I have made mistakes. But acknowledging them like this, I think, is much more healthy for me, or more healthy for me than trying to forget it happened. So the first planner of 2017 was my Kate Spade Wellesley personal planner. It was really beautiful, and it was also a gift from my husband, so emotional ties there. I used just the standard Kate Spade inserts, which I have said for ages and ages that I love, and I really thought I did, but the only constant with all of my personal planning dislikes has been those inserts. So by process of elimination, you'd think that is the key. We'll come back to that, I guess. But the pros to this planner is that it's compact. It felt really slim and nice, just like slipping in and out of bags and backpacks. However, the nice feeling did not last when it was time to kind of like open it up and actually plan in it on the fly in class or at work or something like that. To me, it was just too cumbersome in that manner. So despite its chic, sleek frame, for me it was just not conducive to productivity. So that's why it had to go. It was just too clunky to actually plan in, and I didn't like that the rings inside were so slim. The second planner that I moved on to was a complete departure. It was the Kikki.k large personal planner, which is their A5 size. It was in lemon, which was the only yellow planner they were carrying at the time, the beginning of the year, because I used it for 2 brief weeks in February. And in conjunction with this planner, I actually used Inkwell Press inserts because I saw them online. I was going through a hard time at school, just keeping track of everything, my home life, my personal, my school life. It was all just kind of threatening to crash down on me, and I felt like I needed a lot of structure, and those beautiful Inkwell Press inserts I thought were the answer to that. But I still wasn't comfortable whipping this planner out in class or at work or on the go. I was even scared to put it in my backpack because it is so precious and so beautiful. So it just had to go. I still have it, like I still have the Kate Spade, because, well, the Kate Spade is sentimental, but the yellow is just so beautiful, and I really do like the size. Currently it's housing some of my teaching stuff, so stuff in preparation for my credential, stuff just in preparation for classes, or that I've gleaned over tutorings and just a bunch of classes. So it has a slight purpose, but it's still like shelved. I'm not actively planning in it at all, and those Inkwell Press pages are just going to waste. Which brings me to my third. I used this for about a week in February, because like I said, February and March were just crazy, crazy months for me. And I liked the feel. It felt more traditional to me. While it was a little chunkier than the Kate Spade, it opened flat. So I felt kind of comfortable opening it in class or at work or whatever. But I just didn't get with it. I didn't gel with it. And I can't really explain it beyond that. As you can see, the cons are very short. I think I wrote it's too simple, and I can't actually put things into the pockets or anything like that. But more than that, it was just a feeling. I didn't like it. So I got really fed up with myself, and I told myself I could not have pretty things anymore. And I did not buy a planner. I did not invest in any sort of planning system. Instead, I invested in school. So I decided in the middle of a quarter I needed to switch up my whole organizational system, and that is what brought me to the ARC letter size notebook. And it worked well for school, and for a couple of weeks I used just a dot grid sheet of paper. The dot grid I got from Sea Lemon, because she does a dot grid ARC journal system. And I was just writing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on one sheet of letter size paper and bullet journaling my way toward the end of that quarter. It really worked though. It was very simple. I liked that I could see my week all on one page. I felt like that was really convenient to keep my head above water. But in the end, despite its endless possibilities, the fact that it was really cost effective and that it really worked when I needed it the most, I still moved on because I felt the paper was too large. And if I moved to a smaller version of the ARC letter journal, then it would defeat the purpose of having it with my school stuff, and I think I just wanted something a little more aesthetically pleasing. Also something with a little bit more structure, I guess. So I know if I ever get really overwhelmed again, I can probably go back to it and realign myself. But as it is, I don't know if I'll ever need to return there. That's like last resort option. And then for about a month, an actual month, I stayed in my Leuchtturm, or however you pronounce that business, 1917 medium bullet journal in Army. And I put this beautiful bear sticker on it right at the front with my initials. The sticker I got from Pear Tea Stickers. And it's dotted. Again, the possibilities were endless. It was a good size. This I was constantly taking with me on the go, and I felt comfortable planning in class or anywhere, and it felt nice in my hand, but I feel like I still needed more structure. I needed to be able to take things in and out, and that was just not a possibility. At least with the amount of effort I was willing to put in, it was not a possibility. And I wasn't sure really how to use the bullet journal system, because to me, I wasn't really concerned with lists at the time. I didn't have time for that. I just wanted a planner that I could forward plan, that I could plan in the moment, and all that fun stuff. And it takes a bit to set up a bullet journal correctly if you're even just looking for it as a calendar. It was just not working. Plus, I wanted to go back to something prettier. Like, I wanted to do pretty planning again to help me stay with it. And I did not like the spreads that were kind of possible. Like, I could never get to a standard spread size that I liked because there was always that gutter running in the middle. I know I'm just being difficult all up and down, but it just didn't fit. So while I like the size of the notebook, and I will probably repurpose this at some point in time as like a journal or something, it just didn't work as a planner. Which led me to my comfort zone, which is the classic Happy Planner. I used one at the end of the year for probably 2 months, from November through December, really. And it was going really well. However, I don't like the standard just blank Happy Planner pages, so I feel like I need to decorate them like all over the place. I needed to add stickers, stamps, just beautiful things, because I disliked the plain background of the Happy Planner spread so much. I will say it is my comfort zone though, because as One Book July has pointed out to me, I need some sort of creative outlet beyond just what my profession is, or beyond school or school projects. And to me, that is planning, but it's more so doodling now, or journaling now. And at the time, I expressed myself through stickers. And that was just not a long-term sort of application of my time and money, I don't think. So I nipped that in the bud. I probably had it for about half a month. I mean, I still have it. The only one I actually, of this list so far, that I no longer have is the Filofax original. But it's just too basic for me. It's comfortable, and I know how to use it effectively if I were to decorate it, but I just don't want to decorate all day when I sit down to plan. I moved on again to this beautiful little Kikki.k medium personal planner, and I actually bought this pre-loved from a girl I follow on Instagram, and she packaged it so nicely, and it came with a care package of a lot of planner stuffs, and it was just a really happy experience. And I was actually really happy with this planner for about a month. But but I found I was adding a lot of lists to it. So the whole reason I didn't gel with bullet journaling at the time was kind of what I was using it for in this easier quarter I had, because it was like just after or just around finals and everything for my spring quarter, and I like to decorate it. I like to create those lists and make those doodles and make dividers, but I wasn't actually planning very well in it because, again, I like the horizontal planning, but these Kate Spade inserts, which I thought I loved, I think just don't work for me. I prefer lines, and if they're unlined, I'd prefer they take up as little space as possible. And they don't fit that criteria. It seems like there's a lot of wasted space, and I know you're paying for the design, and the designs are pretty. I really like the fashion sketches that they include, but I think that was at fault with my whole falling out of love with personal planners. I still really have a fondness and a soft spot for this Kikki.k planner, and it is still in my collection, and I know it's still there if ever I need to go back to personal planning, which I think is more my wheelhouse. I'm just liking creating my own spreads a little bit more on dot grid paper, and I feel like that's probably where I'll turn for inserts in the future if I decide to go back to the personal planner. Which brings us to the planner I was in for One Book July, and that is this Foxy Fix number 7 in Wildflower, and it is the cedar color, which is the deepest brown, and it has a pen loop, and I really like the Foxy Fix like accessory pen loops, the one that's attached to the elastic, and this I really liked it for One Book July, but as the month progressed, I started to notice that personally for me, while I really liked the feel, the height of it, the fact that it was kind of slim, I did not like the width, so like the large expanse. I didn't like the planning inserts, and I just used dot grid, so just simple dot grid paper, and I created my own inserts, or my own sort of monthly spreads, but it was that kind of issue I was running up against with the Leuchtturm bullet journal, and it was that I could never get up to a place that I liked. I either felt that there was too much room, or the dimensions weren't correct in the places I wanted them to be. So really, it was just too wide. I still have it. I really like the leather. It's probably my favorite Foxy Fix leather because it ages and develops like just really high quality, nice leather. I really jumped into it for One Book July, and I really like creating my own spreads again, and that's what became clear after all of this, is that I like creating my own spreads, but I need the correct size in order to do that effectively. So I decided from there I should probably try a pocket size, why not? So I also bought this pocket size traveler's notebook, pre-loved, this time off eBay. It's a Chic Sparrow pocket Odyssey in Poseidon, so it's black. And it came to me, and I did one of those gasps, just like I did when I got my Foxy Fix number 7. I was like, oh my goodness, this is fated, this Chic Sparrow, because this size, the pocket size, feels really nice in your hand. And I like that I was able to use field notes as my sort of planning inserts, even though they're blank, and that I was able to take the dot grid I had from a lunacy set, so it had a moon on it, and create really simple, like week on one page spreads, and those were working really well for me this summer, considering I was kind of only working for August. So this was what I was using pretty much all the time during my planner slump. I was just making really simple, maybe 3/4 of an inch boxes that say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. But it wasn't really effective because I wanted to future plan, and I did not like the idea of having a separate insert to do that. I also tried Annie Plan's printables, and while I did like her designs for the most part, it just seemed unfeasible to keep cutting them down and keeping a separate book for each month or each quarter. I just did not like that style. Plus, the stuff that I wanted to plan for, it was slowly dawning on me that school was coming, and I needed something to work with me and not something that I had to worry about setting up every week. And I just have some honorable mentions down there. One is the Foxy Fix Personal Ring Bound Planner in Boss Babe Kate, which is the beautiful navy. I got it, I played with it for like an hour or two, and I immediately knew this wasn't the planner for me. It was chunky and a little bit stocky, and despite the beautiful craftsmanship and all that fun stuff, I just did not connect with it. And it was such an expensive investment that I sold it immediately after playing with it for a little bit, because I just didn't want that weight in my life. But I hope whoever purchased that is now experiencing an awesome planner life with their beautiful, beautiful planner. It just was too wide for me. And then honorable mention also to my Chic Sparrow Pocket Pemberley Classic. This one I actually bought from Chic Sparrow. It just has a riveted pen loop that I paid for, and I did pay for stitching, but it has no pockets. It's just the classic style, and I really like the feel of it. Again, the pocket size is just so easy for on-the-go planning, but essentially it was the same thing as the Chic Sparrow Pocket Odyssey, but the Pemberley is just more rigid, which is weird because the Pocket Odyssey is a deluxe, which means it has the leather pockets and everything, but I felt like the Pemberley was too simplistic for me, so I still have it because I feel like, again, it's my ticket out in case I sort of crumble with planning, but no, I like my Odyssey more. I might see if a friend wants that Pemberley. So these have been my planners for 2017 so far, at least at the end of August. I guess the planner that's been working for me lately is the Chic Sparrow Narrow Odyssey in Poseidon, because I was really a fan. That's how much I loved this pocket planner, because I was really impressed with the quality of the leather and the fact that it's already sort of beat up. It makes it softer, and it feels to me more sort of my personality, or it fits more of my personality. So check out my Instagram for pretty much pictures of all of these planners, because I did use them all throughout the year. But lately it's been the narrow size, which is just the standard traveler's notebook, and the reason that seems to be prevailing above all of these planner guys is because I can get dated inserts that are very simple. So I've been using the actual traveler's notebook week on one page with a grid on the other, and it just combines my most time-tested methods of planning, which is just super simple, and bullet journal. So combine those two and you have what's working for me now. I have, though, done some customizations to that insert, and I will definitely have a setup video here for you soon showing all that I did. but it's pretty neat and unique in my opinion, so keep an eye out for that. If you've lasted this long, sweet dreams, because I assume you are singing yourself off to sleep, and thank you so much for watching. You have a wonderful, wonderful day, and here's to the rest of 2017.